Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspired by dreams shop, and that's a place where you guys can go and get your drip on, dress outside of the box. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. Things just been happening. I want to before we start this episode, I want to give my condolences go out to my bro Michael Thomas. His mother passed, and I just want to send some healing energy to the family, because family is always family. We're all connected and we're all family. Also, I was just thinking the other day, I said a quote out there for a friend of mine, and it's just, those good old days when everybody's mom was everybody's mom. So rest in peace to Miss Williams as well. And my good friend David, his mom passed away, and in these times we got to keep these people that we love around us, and even if in our spirits, in our hearts, we keep them close to us. And those memories, they could never just sink out of our mind. They will always be with us. So healing energy goes out to my peeps out there. And if you lost one, if you you lost a family member, a close friend, or anything, healing energy goes out to you guys. Okay, God is good, and things happen for a reason. That's why we're on Earth right now. We have to believe in something. So today's episode is going to be something a little special. I don't want to start it off on that. I want to start it off with some good energy, some really good energy, and that's those people, the people that you love, always start you off on good energy. So yeah, and also birthday shouts out to my boy Dub the Mayor. Yeah, my good friend Dub. So yeah, so this healing energy goes out to all the families out there who lost someone. I seen today in the news, just on the wake up, I seen people. It was in Queens, a gambling spot, got rushed, and two people got injured in there. Thankfully, they didn't pass or anything. I believe two people got shot, and they're in critical, but things are crazy. In these times, you got to be very careful of the things that you're doing and the people that you're around. And even if someone else comes around whatever situation you have going, you got to be very protective of yourself and the people around you too as well. So yeah, man, the NYC, like everybody out here right now, everybody, you have to, like I told you don't got to be from the streets to pick up some street smarts. This is something that we all need, and we all have to know what's going on. So I'm here to tell you guys, and on this Friday morning, there's a lot going on, and I'm gonna break a few things down. I want to start off with, I'm always telling you guys that, just spending time in prison and just, just throwing your life away for the things that's not necessarily beneficial. It takes a lot out of you. And although people think that, time isn't everything, some people think money is everything. When you take away time out of it, you start to see what your life, your body, your soul, everything is really worth. Now, what I'm talking about is, recently, Diddy he's back in court, and there's people that was in the court. A lot of talks that came out how Diddy, he's not looking the same. He's aging very fast, and they said something like a head full of gray hair. And I'm not pointing that out to down anybody or anything. But what I really want to tell people and just open the youth's eyes to is that when you're in prison, the time that you take away, your body is still aging. The stuff you put in your body, your mental, everything is going at a different capacity as if you were outside and you had your freedom. And people don't tend to really realize what's going on, but it's a really sad thing, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. The more time spent in these places where there's no sense of rehabilitation, or there's just people in there just trying to do their time, or things are just going on that's probably not in your best interest. This is when it strips you of all the things that you once dreamed of, and everything that you felt like you could have made outside without making these same mistakes. So, the mistakes in these times people are not realizing, they're very detrimental, man. Yeah, man, Diddy not looking too well. He's aging, and all for what? You mean, when you really look back at this is all for greed. So a lot of these things that we're seeing now, and a lot of these circumstances, it stems from greed, no matter how you point it out, whether it's a bad relationship that's going, somewhere else, or somebody just wanted to date up a whole bunch of people or have a whole bunch of kids. It all stems from greed. Now, if you guys, I have put out a video last night that I want you guys to check out after this live, and it's talking about marriage. And just the state of marriage in these times, should it be changed, just the structure of it, or should the way we look at marriage, just take another look? Because the things that marriage is more pointing towards nowadays are the business sides of it. How much money are we gonna get if this goes this way, or it's more business structured. And I think people in these times, they're saying there's a less rate of people getting married than it was in the past. And some people think it's due to, just females having more freedom to do what they want to do. And some people look at it because of just the dating and the way the outlook of what, people think love really is. And they're not risking it, So we have a lot of things going on in our society, man, that it's the lack of trust. It's a lot of things that's in this whole recipe that makes this, a whole pot of destruction. What's up, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? Shouts out when you stop in, just give me a little like, a little share, and let me know where you're from. Drop wherever you're from. So I'll give you that shout out. But that's kind of where we at. I'm seeing there's a whole bunch of things that's going on in the media. Some of the things I didn't want to bring to you guys because they didn't really serve me as much, and I just wanted to just point out certain things that I can grab from it, that I can probably put my opinion or maybe get a lesson out of it to bring to you guys. So that's what this Friday and this whole episode is going to be all about. Now, another person that's in prison is Lil Durk. So what we're hearing now is that Lil Durk is in prison, but I guess he could say adapting, because he's wiggling his way through things. They're saying he's getting in trouble for certain things. When you really look at this, and what is it all worth? I mean, outside of prison, Lil Durk on those stages, not besides all the street stuff that was going on, but on the stage, he is somebody. And his work and his talent, people really love the guy. And to see him just throw his life away because he couldn't disattach himself from all that street life and, whatever he had beef or whatever he had going on. And now he's in the place of people saying murder for hire. And these type of things come with years and years on top of it. So what we're seeing now is people thinking, before in the past, as a youth, if some youth go to prison in their early stages, in the past that would have looked, you come out, you have a little wiser sense. Really, it's just you're older, and you should have a different outlook at that age. You could have did that outside. But now what we're seeing is when you're being put in prison and the years that they're giving you, there's slim chances of, after. Remember, like I told you, just because they release you out after doesn't mean that your mind is not still trapped in the prison, because people's mentality put them in the positions that they get themselves into. I was talking about Lil Durk, with the whole Lil Durk situation, man, because it seemed now like, even though he's trying to fight his way out of prison, y'all, but at the same time, it seems like he's getting in trouble in prison. And that's going to add on more time or add on a different type of picture that's going to make him look crazy. So I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I think that Lil Durk should have had a different blueprint, man. Being that he was like even though there was other people that came out of Chicago, he was like a one of one when he first started. The way he was one of the first ones to implicate like the singing hooks and stuff and mix it all in there. He had something going for himself. But yeah, man, getting in trouble inside the prison, it's not gonna get you anywhere. It's just gonna get you more time. That's what that is for. That doing all that stuff without trying to find out a way to get out of there is gonna get you more time. It's crazy. Rest in peace, King Von. Yeah, definitely. I felt, with King Von, like I caught King Von, like I would say the middle stages I caught King Von. And it's one thing that I could remember. Sometimes people talk about these figures, and then when I go check them out and I hear their music, I'm like, I think they were more in love with his outside life than his musical career. But when I heard King Von and I heard some of his music, I'm like, man, now he has something. Lil homie has something. He had something, man. He had something. It wasn't like he was gonna come in there and play with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was gonna come in there and play with it. And I think that balance is just that his persona in the streets outweighed what his career was, because he didn't get enough time to get the balance of it, So I'm not going to say that King Von, I think if he had took some routes and delayed on some of the street stuff, he would have skipped past his fate and made it, and he would have been still living, dropping that music. See, it's the little steps you take. It's the little steps you take. You have to be you. It's not knowing how to fight. Sometimes it's knowing how to run that can get you in a better position. Knowing how to dodge stuff and instead of knowing how to approach it with everything. Because the more times you approach it, it's like a pattern. People understand your pattern. Okay, this is his approach to when things go this way and this way. So now we know how to counter that because we know this is the only approach he's gonna take. But when you use different approaches, now whatever's in front of you, your opposition would never know what's next. Because they don't know your approach, you know? So I feel bad the way he tried to approach it. Well, and nowadays, I'm gonna be honest with you, it looked like he was just trying to approach it with the hands. It wasn't like he was going overboard and trying to approach it like the street. But he not thinking inside his head. No matter if King Von come with his hands, from an outside person looking in, if he's approaching somebody, they're thinking the King Von that the mystery and the whole thing that hovers over Chicago, and now his presence is more weighed heavier because he's come with the hands. They don't think that. They think he's, in their minds, they see this. They see big chopper sticks pointed at you if things go down. So in their mind, they're off. He might have just been coming to throw hands and just done with it and then man it up and then that's it. But now, because of people's perception, it makes people think, oh, this is how we gonna come every time. So that's important. That's something you can look at and say, you know what? The picture that I put out there of myself, even if I'm doing something and that's crazy, if I put that out to people gonna always think that. And I think that, you know, he stepped on the wrong square that night and it didn't light up. You know what I mean? He stepped on the wrong square, man. He made the wrong decision. He kind of made the wrong decision. I feel bad, but I felt like going the right way. He could have made some more good music. I got a couple joints from King Von as far as his musical career that I could still rock to this day. So it's a sad thing, man, just to see all these good, and some of these artists, it be the realest ones with the realest stories that get the worst outcomes because of just keeping up with that story. You know, once it's your story, it's your story. And once you put it behind you, it's not like you're erasing it. No, it makes you who you are. So you keep it behind, but this is the new me I'm presenting. And people never get to that new me yet. They get to the point where it's just in the midst of changing and then something pulls them back. Sad stuff, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've seen people, it's crazy. You guys let me know what you think about this. I've seen people label him as like some serial killer, the biggest killer in the world, but then I see people that actually live in Chicago don't label him that. It's just perception in those different thoughts. Some people are not even close to what's going on, has a different perception. So both parties could look at that and be like, you know, this is how they're looking at us. And also, you could also look and say, that's not what we're looking at him as. You can't, in these times, man, trust me, when it comes to karma and it comes to the things that you don't know, you can't sell death. If you sell death, it's gonna become your karma. That's a lot to hold on at one person. You just can't sell death in these times. Selling life will make you live a longer life. Trust. Oh, and you got a point, but you know what it is though. This is what I don't understand. It's even if he made it even it happened with FBG Duck. Even if you make the most exposing song or the most, it's just still a song. It's still in song format, showing people that if you want to attack this, you can attack it in this route, song format. It's not like he went and sprayed a mural or something. You know what I mean? So I really I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt because he wasn't the only one that made a song that exposed people. And there's a lot of people that did songs that exposed people that never had people run down and kill them, you know? And in this particular situation, the way he passed, it really, when we really think about it, it didn't really have anything to do with his street background or anything. This had something to do with just the perception of what people think is gonna go on, and it just went out the way. It went crazy. It went crazy. It went crazy, bro. And it's sad because there's a lot, like I always say, in Chicago, there's a lot of other artists too that's just rapping on drill music, on drill beats, but they're not putting out those death messages. And that's the point where you can profit off of it now. Now you can profit off it because you're telling your story on a drill beat and the BPM people are used to, and that's gonna get your story more listened to instead of just, you know, putting information that's gonna put you in prison. Because when you get the money, all the money that you're making off the music, you don't want to go take that and throw it to a lawyer now to try to get you out of a situation and having to go back and try to make it again. That don't make no type of sense. It don't make no type of sense. It just don't make no type of sense. I mean, I've seen people make mistakes, but these mistakes that's being made are big mistakes. I mean, mistakes that people are not be able to come back from. In prison, it ain't good, man. People are trying to fight their way out. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now, the reason why I didn't always stay on this whole subject, because in the past I've seen things happen to this shorty, and she just seems like she keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and she don't know what, sometimes it's like her story is like, you know, on victim side, and then sometimes her story be like just on demon influence, and it's Bhad Bhabie. Now I'm seeing, she did a live the other day, and she was explaining to the people on how, you know, this particular girl had stole her man and her baby father and this and that. Let's rewind back. We all seen her getting her behind kicked by her baby father on video in front of our face. We seen that little shorty get her behind whooped. She don't know that we adults, and we've seen these patterns in other relationships. So now she's at the point in her relationship where she's blaming herself for the mistakes that she made by dating that person and that guy getting her, because that guy is abusive. It's common sense. When you see a shorty start blaming herself, she's in the point where she feels like if she hits back or do something back, it's gonna counter what he's done to her. Don't you think that we're adults and we've seen these patterns in different situations? The best thing that girl can do is run. Whatever she has to get out of this situation, or she's gonna come up one of those victims found somewhere. And that's the blunt truth. That's not pouring sugar in it. That is what happens in these types of situations. The more abuse in the relationship, the just 1-2 hits here and there turns into like 100 hits, and then it turns into one shot, and it turns into somebody being arrested or somebody getting their life taken. Come on. This is how it's going. Now you mean to tell me now I've heard things in the news come up about how she was taking certain medications, this and that. She's talking about she's coming out of the hospital. She has a baby by the guy. They're in an abusive relationship, and it's all in display for social media. Number one, it's almost like a cry out, but don't know how to, you know, because the people you have around you, they're not really in support of you. They just more know you for the person that made the money. They don't care about, you think they care? This life was given to you. It was all written from the time you got on that show when you was a little girl, and you were saying how you didn't care about this and how you didn't care about that. When the world watched you, they realized you wasn't gonna come with any type of substantial ways of living. You was gonna take on everything that was going opposite of the things you're supposed to do to better your life. And this is where you end up, young, pregnant, with a person that's abusive, that don't really love you, that we all can see. You could try to fool people, oh, he loved me, this and that. Let me tell you something. The guy gonna sleep around on you, do this and do that all behind your back. You just had a baby, just coming out of the hospital. It is what it is. He probably had a chick on the side from a long time. You was just a come up, and you're sitting in this place of social media thinking that you're worth more than somebody else out there because you sitting here and you got somebody baby. Don't you know that a man can make a baby with 100 women? It's up to you to be responsible enough to realize who you laying down and sleeping with. What's wrong with you? You're gonna find yourself in a place of hurt if you take on lifestyles like this. And it's and to her man, you know, you gotta look, man. You gotta look at it like this. It's no disrespect to you, but it is disrespect to you. Just see Diddy, right? Beat down on Cassie, and you see how much time that got her. The more you keep taking your problems out and putting hands on females, it don't say too much for yourself, man. You're gonna land yourself in prison just like the rest of these guys that don't know how to control their anger, man. If it comes to the point where you gotta put your hands on somebody else's daughter or another girl out there, man, why don't you just leave the house, man? You swinging and doing all of this stuff on her, and she's about the size of my finger. Come on. It looks crazy. Social media is, look, if you don't realize what's going on, the patterns that these people and the mistakes that these people are making, these things are added on with price tags on it. This money that comes out, they're gonna take everything out of that Bhad Bhabie's bank by the time this whole thing plays out. I'm talking from lawyers, just fees, just wrecking stuff. Probably the house split, all of that stuff is going down. And it's not like nobody's surprised. And that's the reason. Now don't think that there's not anybody out there trying to help you, but I don't think you're in a place where you have an understanding where you can take the help and make it useful for yourself. I mean, just look at you. You're taking beat downs and you're blaming it on yourself. You don't think we've seen these patterns in other females before that's been abused and have to blame themselves of the things? Well, there's a little blame in there. Yeah, you picked the wrong guy, but after that, you didn't throw the punch that hit yourself in the eye, right? You didn't throw the punch that made your teeth loose when knocked out. And then she's in the live and the guy walks right behind her and then she has like this smile on her face and she thinks that that's gonna fool us. She's scared as hell with a smile on her face like, hey, because she don't want to get smacked and beat up again. But that's not the way that's not the way a relationship works. And that's the reason why I put out that video on marriages. It's just not the same. And these types of relationships, don't think that they're gonna lead into marriage. It leads into prison and bankruptcy. Because the only thing that they seen in the first place was money. Money was the attraction, and sex brought you guys together, and sex will be the thing to try to hold you together, and then the money will break you guys apart. Because once that's gone, nobody ain't got no love for nobody. Some people in relationships and they don't even know each other. So how you telling me that as a younger person trying to come up, you're gonna tell me something that I don't know? Well, let me hear it. Kick it. Because from what I can see, I've seen this time and time again with the men that have been abused in their past start abusing other people in the future. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Some people find a way to fix themselves and they find something else to put their heart into and their pain into, instead of putting it out on somebody else. But some people don't know how to direct it, so that's where you think it's gonna land. It's gonna land to the person closest to you. And the reason why the patterns that we're seeing is because it starts on social media. All of this stuff. That's where it starts. That's where she ran after she got beat up, right? She ran to social media like social media was gonna help her and wipe her wounds, right? And where she ended up, in the hospital. Social media ain't up in the hospital. Look, come on. And I really want y'all to check that video out. You will see so many people right now are so happier single than people in relationships with that fake smile. We know what's going on. We get it. Ain't nobody making fun of you. All we trying to say is what's your next plan? What's the next move? You gonna sit there in the puddle, or are you gonna get up out the puddle and wipe yourself off and continue this journey? What are you doing? Hurry it up. It's crazy. So I wonder what happens when these people are watching situations like the Diddy situation. What are they saying to themselves when they turn their lights off and the same type of behavior is going on in their household? What do they say to themselves? I hope it's something like, I got to get myself out of this situation. Let me see other people I hope it's something like that. Now I'm hearing that Claressa Shields, she wants to box Remy Ma for $1. What did I tell you was going to go on? People want to see this back and forth, but unfortunately, you know how life works. Remy's not a boxer. I'm not sure where her mindset is at, according to all of this information going out there. I don't know if she wants to do all of that. But all I can say is, you know, when you're dealing with a relationship and there's real people involved as far as like kids, family, and things like that, I don't think that just boxing or put on some gloves is going to be enough pain to dish out to make a person see what's really going on. I think this this is something, it's somewhat of a love triangle, somewhat of something that we don't know what's going on, but somebody's messing with, I don't know. The connection over there is very weird because one time I'm thinking that, you know, Remy and Pap got something going on, and then Easy the Block Captain comes in. I hear that story, and now there's somebody being added in as far as her, you know, dating. And I just feel like, you know, if you guys are, the best thing to do is when things get worked out, you know, make sure that everybody that's going to be coming in contact with each other have some kind of agreement, because this kid's involved. Come on, this kid's involved, man. Boxing for, I don't know about the boxing stuff, man. We got to quit all that boxing. We know in New York there ain't no boxing. I don't remember the last time I even seen a street fight like that. Sometimes I see street fights on YouTube. I'm like, damn, I remember those days. But in these times, you just, I mean, if you can't trust the next person, who's to say after you beat that person up, he's not going to come back around the corner or slide on you? You got to be very careful. Who's to say in the fight that somebody don't slam you on your head and you lose your life? So people are cutting the chances down by using weapons and things and other things of that nature, using their heads, using different things to attack your bank account, attacking different things, that's suing, and people are doing things in different ways. So it's not all about, you know, just the person with the gun pointed that's going to be the person that's going to be the, you know, the triumphant one. No, that's usually the person that you can actually, you know, map out the evidence on and throw that person away for the rest of his life. The scariest person don't want to look scary to the people. No, that's not how it works. The softest person is always going to want to look scary to the people because he don't want people to know that he's soft. He don't want to let people know that he ain't gonna be able to go the distance or go out all the way. No, so he gonna put up that persona, that tough stuff on. Remember, I told you about that stuff. When it comes to the street, you only know what's gonna happen when it happens. Anybody talking about what's gonna happen, this and that, it never go that way. Don't let nobody fool you. I don't know where you from, but I know where I'm from. That's how it usually goes down. Now, there's a lot of things going on in New York, and if you have your ear or your eyes close to the streets, you'll realize that it ain't safe out here, and you got to be very careful in the things that you're doing now up until the next years to come. Don't you see that they're implicating AI and everything, and everything people do is because it's going to capture your patterns. And if you give yourself away for cheap, well, that's how much they're going to sell you for. But if you hold back the things that's valuable to you, that's when you hold value within yourself. Protect the things that's valuable to you. Don't just throw them out on the internet. Sometimes it's not bad giving the computer bare minimum of you because they only have a shell of you. They'll never have the soulful stuff that's priceless stuff. The more you give out all your priceless stuff because you want to make a few views or a few dollars on YouTube, the more it's gonna make you deteriorate because whatever you have left, they ain't gonna be worth nothing. The conversation is all these things can get. Even in YouTube, I'm hearing that they're supposed to, you know, add in some kind of AI. You tick the button so the AI could learn off of you. Learn off of who? I want the youth to learn off of me, not the AI. I don't need AI learning off of me. I need the youth to learn off of me. Forget about the AI because the more you teach the AI, then the youth ain't gonna have no jobs. You see what's going on in Amazon? While all those people, they were outside with the picket signs saying that, you know, they ain't gonna work this and that and it's gonna mess up the sales. You know what Amazon told them? We good. They got AI gonna take all of them people jobs, all of them people you see marching, AI gonna wipe all of that out. They're just trying to find ways. The first thing that they tried to do, but they know they can't do is have those trucks drive by itself. You know that ain't gonna work, right? Not in this world, and not with the minds that's going on in these times. No, they knew that wasn't going to work. But they've tried every single way to replace the human being that's out there that's saying that they want more. Don't you see what's going on? Technology is going to try to take everything out of your pockets. We're not the ones robbing you. Technology is robbing you. Technology robbed you for your music. It robbed you for what you had up here. It robbed you for everything. Don't blame the people. So the more you tick off yes to the AI and you let AI do everything for you, the more they ain't gonna need you. Be careful of what you put on social media. I refuse. You gotta be smart enough to know how much to put out there. People will say anything just because they want views and don't realize how detrimental that is to their lives. Be smart about the things you put out there. No matter how many views you get. The stuff that you protect, you keep and write it down. You don't type it. Type it is not, when you type something in any computer, any system, it's not yours. Just remember those words. Anything you typed, it's not yours. It's somebody else's. Be very smart about the things you do. Writing it down with ink on paper is still it's the best way to do it. It's the most protected way. If a journal is typed, it'll be less believable. If a journal is written, it's going to be trusted. Don't sell yourself short for views. Don't just put anything in for certain information out. The information that you hold dear, keep it somewhere. You put your own price tag on the things that you value. Don't ever let somebody else or some technology or some platform put a price tag on what you deem to have value. That's the difference with me and a lot of these people. I'm not forcing anything on people. What I do is I open your mind up to know how to value yourself. The things I value is the reason why I get up and I can get up in the morning and do what I do. I got love for the things that I found true to me. And that's the difference. A lot of people won't believe it because some people come from harsh backgrounds and they got to get it. But when they get it and they got it, it's over with. It's over with. You look back, you got a whole family burning back there. You got people that's after you. You got a whole bunch of drama behind you. You didn't get it. You don't get it. You got it, but you don't get it. That's the difference. Good morning. But they'll learn. They'll learn. They'll learn. Trust when I tell you, they're going to learn. There's a lot of things that we got to really pay attention to. You see, remember I told you a lot of people are losing big amounts of money in the music industry? That's why the media companies, they're running. Because they're realizing, look, just the same way we are seeing like artists getting, people are going back in their information, things they typed on Twitter years ago and they're getting pulled up with this, is the same thing that's happening on these, in these types of situations. So if you, let's just say you're okay, so you're an artist, right? And you did a song and you kind of karaoke'd it off of somebody else's song, right? And you did the hook over and you put it in your twist. You gave it a different twist and you made it more relatable to your community and hip hop, right? Years go by, and now, for example, J-Kwon, the Tipsy song, they had to take it off a Grammy. They couldn't even put it up in the Grammys. He's getting in problems with that Tipsy song that was so big. Everybody get tipsy because it was a country song. So they'll wait till you get up there, how much you make with it, and then they'll pull you right back here because it's not yours. I can't fight for him and say, oh, that song was just dope. No, but it wasn't original. He stole it from somebody and he put it on top of this and did it on top of that. And that's the reason why it has no longevity. You see? That's how they're tricking people. So when you hear people doing songs over songs and samples of this, that is going to be their downfall in these next years to come. Because when you sample something, that means you take something from something else. And that means that person is going to get compensated with all these restrictions that we're having that's coming into this. Don't you know that AI is going to be the security of the world? You watch and see. All those people that feel that they're in positions of they being of authority, their authority is going to be wiped away. Wiped away. So what authority did you really have? The only authority that you had for all those years was going against your own people. So now when you come back to your people, they don't want to see you there no more. Nobody want to back you. Because technology will be the next thing that's telling you if you're right or wrong. Because they're going to patent out everybody's thoughts and put it in AI. Watch what's going on. Let the dummies think that it's cool to keep doing the remixes, tree mixes, and all these things. And they ain't going to have no money in the future when that money, that was supposed to be the money sustain them in the future. So if they can't make music anymore, they'll still have some publishing, this and that coming in. Now they realize, wait, this song ain't original. And due to all of these things, they snatching it. The money ain't going in their pocket. You see the trick? So the same technology that they use to fool you guys to get the numbers boosted up will be the same technology that is going to go against them to take all the money back out of their pocket. The same thing that make you laugh, make you cry. That's how it go. The one thing they realized, people didn't even know where they was getting their streams from. They didn't know who was giving them the money for that. And now you got the music is so quick to go up the next day. You upload it the next day. They go into streaming and doing these millions of views. Meanwhile, there's copyright infringements, plagiarism, all that go up into millions and millions of views. And now when that get a whole bunch of money, they suing the company, the place that put the thing out. Everybody getting sued. Watch what's going on in the hip hop media. That's why people that's own media companies are running right now, because they don't want to be the last company to get all their money taken from these people that's suing for the music not being original. Watch what's going on. All the producers that made music and it was original, those guys could sit back and laugh and live for the rest of their life because the money's going to keep coming in. The ones that did samples, and sample this, sample that of this person, and did this over, and did that over, those are the ones that their money is going to be pulled away from them. The trick was in front of their face. The more you put your information and technology to get you to these places faster and to these points where they're boosted up, it's the same thing that's going to pull it down, because yeah, it's just like a secret. If you got this to boost it up, don't you think that the person that boosts you up know that you got boosted up? So that secret is no longer a secret when you change and put it in a different realm where it's needed. Now people know the secret and they can relate it back to when they look at this. Oh, I understand why that happened. Now you understand, right? You hear Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, the album didn't do as expected, and it didn't do the billboards. You understand what's going on now? They might not have the Jimmy Iovine, but let's say he had maybe an Eminem attached to it, and this and this and that, couple this, a couple. Then the rollout was a little different. You know what I mean? Then the numbers would have been in the air, billboards, and oh, the Super Bowl, this and that, you know? But when they put it out themselves, like the regular public, the numbers that they get, they ain't satisfied with. But those are the real numbers. Those are the real numbers. There's nothing wrong with that. It's going to rise more. People, if the music is good, the more people will listen. But it's not to say that everybody's tuning in for that day for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. And it's not, those are some of the greatest artists and producers. But it's not saying that everybody's tuning in that day, and that's the reality. It's the reality. The more we have, if you realize how the conversations are going, we have more adults in younger conversations. So what makes you think that adults are looking to check for older adults and what adults do? No. People are on a figure it out process. So why would you try to figure it out from the people that you know are lying? Those are the people that you came up with. The best way to identify people is your own people. You understand the patterns that they do, the lies they tell. You understand it. So people are falling for this stuff. So and that's the reason why people are they're blinded by a lot of this social media stuff. There's a lot of pictures and making you feel like it's this, feel like it's that, but behind it all, it's not that. So you think about it. Why'd you do that? What are you hiding? Once we get to that point of what you're hiding, that's going to be the point where if I grab what you're hiding, I can control you. They know this. They know this. Come on. So now, and the Grammy eligible, let me tell you the reason why. You see how quick the Grammys were, they was not going to make that song eligible, because they don't want to, that Tipsy song, they don't want to be responsible for that. So you mean to tell me you took Tipsy from a country song, made it your own, and now the Grammy's going to give you a Grammy for that? No, they don't want to be responsible, and whoever's going to be suing, and they sue the Grammys for giving that. You see how it goes? people, different businesses work together. You might not see it. You might think that these two businesses are going to get against each other. Meanwhile, both of those businesses, because you're all tuned in, they're both profiting. I'm telling you. Look, Mike Tyson want to jump back in the ring. I'm hearing for another $200 million. What, he going to fight until he die in the ring? You gotta see what's going on. It's they put you on the wheel, man. Once you're on the wheel, you can't stop going. You can't. You would think, wait, hold on. If I make 100 million or some 20, even if I make $10 million, I'm ready to jump in for another $200 million. Did you even get a chance to spend a little something out of that to understand that you didn't need that? Well, there's something wrong here. I think you're in it for might be the wrong reasons. I've seen a lot of weird things go on, but one of the weirdest things I've seen in life, I've seen a lot of humans race all the way to their death, running closer to their death, like trying to get there faster. Mentioning death and keep giving it a open door to your soul. You can't do that. You can't do that. Fighting and these are the things that keep you up. All of that pull you down stuff, man. Pull you down. People don't even know to have. Man, and they try. Look, what I told you, I believe it was a couple lives ago. I told you if just hear me out for a minute. If it ain't, if everything that people think what it is, they're pulling away. Michael Vick now, he's trying to fight for this thing. They're trying to put him in bankruptcy because of. Look, let me tell you something, man. First, they put you in the trap, they give you the money, and then they take the money back. And then guess what? Who's left in the trap? You. You think they're going to pull you out the trap? No. They know that you work so hard to get there. What makes you think you won't try to work hard to get it again? That means that they're going to keep you on the wheel. Everything you hear about in today's is going to have some money attached to it that somebody wants or is going to lose. They're not taking anybody's blueprint because everybody knows it's that bare minimum people are giving up today that we've seen too many people we've seen on bare minimum make the most than people with high level skill. So at the end of the day, you have to realize people are going to adapt to that. Protect the things that's of value, and then you adapt to it and you work it out. You work your way in the spaces that you're in, if you understand what I'm talking about. I seen another thing that I wanted to bring to you guys too. Hold on one sec. You watch and see. You think Amazon need workers? You think Amazon need workers, man? They didn't want to tell you guys, man. Once they've been working their people with this technology. They've been working their hardest not for people to work, and that's like you have to give people something to do when there's nothing or there's not anything to do. Then where would most of the people draw their money from? Social media. You got there's one thing that besides technology is food is another thing you could always look into. But even within the food, you're finding people getting arrested in certain places, poisoning food, and you got to be very aware what's going on. I even heard, look, check this out, and hey, this is how it goes. I hear like Donald Trump. This whole I'm hearing that the food prices are gonna go up. They told us one thing that prices were gonna drop, this and that. But I'm hearing the food prices, gas prices, everything is gonna skyrocket even more. And you have to adapt to that. Like I told you, don't complain about the person because you had chances before to make all decisions. Now, once the decision's in, what is gonna be behind that is what's gonna come. There's people out there thinking that, damn, the smart people are knowing that they're going to be the rich you are, you lose money faster than if you have less money. That's common sense. They're going to be pulling more. So now it seems that it's kind of like the energy of these people is like psych allied. That's their whole thing, psych allied. They'll tell you anything right now, then to turn around in a few more days after, be like, whatever. You could tell them anything. It's like, what? Nah, I'm not with all that psych out loud stuff. Nah, it's either if you're gonna stand up to the things that you're gonna be presenting, and you're not gonna, we're gonna remember you for that for a long time, and that's gonna go further than anything, because right now people are very shaky into buying into anything these people are selling. Trust me. Very shaky, because the same thing they're selling you is the same thing that's gonna get you in trouble. They're gonna get you in trouble for it. It's like all a setup, bro. It's like all a setup, and that's not. And the worst thing you can tell somebody in these times, oh, it's conspiracy. That's just another word for people saying it's just stupid. What are you talking about? This is such thing as conspiracy. But when we're talking about today's events and what's happening right now, what are you talking about conspiracy? You could open your own eyes and see what's going on. You step outside and you see how the temperature of people. You think everybody has a smile on their face going to work? That's not true. It's not true. It's not true. And it doesn't matter what the job you have to go. You could be a doctor. It doesn't mean that every day you wake up, you just have this smile and ready to go to work. People are people. They don't understand this. They don't get it. They don't get it. It ain't just gonna be about sex for the rest of social media. You can bet on that. You can bet that. Yes, sex will bring in billions of dollars, but let me tell you what's gonna bring in the trillions. When people start selling you, the stuff that you got inside and the stuff that you value, you slip up and say your information on social media, and now the AI got it, and that's going around to everybody. You think that's right? Nah, that ain't right. That ain't right. I won't trust. To be honest with you right now, like if I had any information that I wanted to bring to you guys, or I had any type of things that would be beneficial to you guys, not only would I put it in a book, but it doesn't necessarily, I don't have to necessarily put a price tag to it. I could send, we're people. I can, if somebody I feel like they are gonna be well with this information, I'll mail it to them direct. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having these little communities of people that trade ideas, that could value those ideas and putting it out to the whole world, where they're just gonna, take that idea and get it in the wrong hands? So I'm very mindful of what I do, and I have a few things that I want to bring to you guys, but I might put it in a different format, so the people that really appreciate and it's gonna really work for, I can just give it to you guys. But just putting out and splurting out information of all this and all of that, I knew that from the beginning. I was never going to come up on here and do that. Because I do know a lot of things, and I do have different sources that might not be necessarily what people would even understand or even know. And it's all because just being social, knowing people, and just being in the right places at the right times. These are things that I accumulated in the friendships that I have, that people have that type of trust in me. So why would I come and just throw out information that, just like that? It's never going to happen. You're never going to get that out of me. I'm never going to take off the AI box. You could take whatever you want from my information. I'm never going to do it. And even though I know that when it's on social media, yeah, there's always possible chance of AI grabbing it and doing whatever with it. That's why I pay attention to the things that I do more than ever now. Because what you put out there, it really could turn against you. I'm talking about, we're going to see if they're taking information and taking what you said in the past, and it can be pulled up in court. You got to really take what you're doing seriously. That's all. If you're doing something, if you're not really up to nothing, you just on here trolling, you ain't really got no sense of what life is all about. I don't even think you're going to find it anytime soon. Then you go in here and you can make a fool of yourself and be an entertainer. But at the end of the day, when you have things that you value and certain standards of life that you really see that's, you can help people with, just because they might have not been, given that chance or given that eye of looking at a situation different, those are the people I want to help. Because a lot of people are confused with that. Like, I have to hurt somebody to win in this situation. No, winning in this situation sometimes could mean long term. Playing that chessboard and understanding that the time that you make your next move is definitely more detrimental than just doing any old thing. You got to know how to plan it out. Whether you plan it out, my good people. Don't go out there and just do things aimlessly, because those are the people that they find themselves in mistakes. You see, We all us right here. We always chop it up about relationships, but look at how they going. Exactly how we said they were going to go. People are losing more trust, and it makes people like down to just a hookup. Now it's just a hookup. Because deep down inside, a lot of these people, the only reason why they got with that person is sex. Nothing else. Not the person, their hobbies, their interests, nothing else but that. And that's where they find themselves in these predicaments. I've seen so many people think that having I'm a father, and they have a whole bunch of kids, but they don't understand that the pain that comes from that is not in the beginning. When a kid is innocent and young, they grow into this, but the more older you get, the more questions you have. That's where they fall short at. So it's not to down people, it's just to give people an eye open and don't take, you're supposed to take life seriously, but for the ones that never had a chance to experience, that the joyful things out of life, when they do get a hold of it, you got to understand that it's not forever. You got to make it through this fight, you have to have discipline. I see a lot of foolish people thinking that, that just doing whatever and every single day and throwing anything up there could get them somewhere. That's not going to get you anywhere. There's a reason why there's a shortage of marriages and things like that, because some of that stuff is fake. You see a lot of these marriages, they don't love each other. Truthfully. They stuck together, maybe the kids, maybe they stuck together because of financial differences. One needed a place to live. Some of these guys know that they're gonna try to give you as many babies to sit you still and keep you at the house because they see that they probably ain't going too far and they need a place to stay. I could probably work this out. It's like that type of thinking, that ain't really no future in that. It ain't no love in that. When two people are really in love, they'll do anything it takes to better themselves together. But what we're seeing is a divide of what you have, what he has, and y'all keep it separated, and y'all just come to the table when y'all want to do whatever y'all got going on. That don't make no relationship. That gives you a long-term, it's crazy. You don't want to be like that. You just don't want to be like that. You'll find more happier people single than you'll find people out there that's in relationships. It might look good. Some days it is good. Some days it is good. But it's the point where we see the when it's not good, man, that unhappiness ripped from you, man. I'm talking about some of these people can't eat, sleep, and all of this over another human being that could possibly be the wrong one for them. I think one of the hardest things in these times is to let go. People are scared to let go. It's kind of like you got to let go and you got to take the jump and you got to take the risk and you just got to go for it. For the people that don't know how to do that, just put it like this. Life is not going to give you anything unless you go out and get it. Even sometimes when you feel like somebody's been handed something, it's not really handed to them. Just being handed something could be more detrimental than you earning it for yourself. If somebody just hands you in it, if that person doesn't see the value and how that person could get that handed to them, then they're going to lose whatever they have in their hand. You got to have this type of mentality before you even have it in your hand to know when it gets here, I know what to do with it, and I know how to get more without somebody having it handed to me again. The mistakes that you make it's supposed to be good mistakes. Good mistakes are making like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, now I know. That's a good mistake. A bad mistake is like, oh, I did that, and then, oh, I did that again. That's like, come on. You know they can't win, right? I told you, the people that's going to be more connected in these times is sad. You got to tell your story in your music. The BPM is very off. What people have on the Billboard's BPM is not what people listen to on the everyday basis. Check it out. You'll see the bops different. And that's why people right now, they don't want to say anything. But the truth is, music is a little off because some of the people are a little off. Not knowing, where's their next step or what's the next thing to do. I see some people throw out scattered music, and then some people are putting in bodies of work. Like I just seen the Fat Joe project. It was pretty cool. But at the end of the day, the reason why you probably wouldn't get the same attachment to it as if it was in those times, it deals with a lot. It's just the connection that you have with the people that's going to be out actually making it go up. That's why when I heard the Dr. Dre and Snoop and this first week, I'm like, what do you guys expect? These guys are successful already, but it has to be a rollout for certain people and certain things they have to put around it. It's just like you see a guy with a podcast. You might see the podcast, oh, it's doing numbers, this and that. Meanwhile, behind that person got so many people behind them, like maybe sponsorships, this and that. People that's gonna do certain things to get it in more eyes. And plus take a look into it if they investing in it. So that's common sense than the person that's ground rooted and building it up. Now, when that person reaches a certain point where that sponsorship is needed, if that person knows this value, they will go way longer because the other podcast probably has more attachments to it, more people to feed, more. You can't turn the lights off because somebody else's lights is going to go off by you turning your own lights off. It comes with discipline. A lot of people can't even break bread with their own friends. What makes you think they can be a leader and break bread with their staff or their workers? Think about it. You got to look at the person like, could this be a leader? Could I see myself, breaking bread with this person? Or if not, do it yourself. Don't be like these people, man. And your name is everything. How you treat people, how people perceive you to be. If you are perceived as a person that's untrustworthy, don't think about selling anything. Nobody's going to buy from you, no matter what it is. We're living in the times where stories sell products. And the people that try to hide behind these products and just put the shiny stuff on it, eventually they don't make no money. That's just how it's going. That's why a lot of companies right now are trying to find some kind of AI replacement for you. Because they realize you're starting to open your eyes and you're starting to see the value in yourself. Once you start seeing the value in yourself, a lot of these people run, they start disappearing. All the entourage that you thought that were your friends and people that were just around to go in your pockets or take something from you, they all run. Because they know, oh, wait, hold on, he see the value in himself. Once that happens, you start to see the difference. The people start changing up. Even in relationships, it happens. One person starts seeing the value in themselves and the other partner is just like totally off and stuck in the place where they're at. And now that relationship can't go forward because one wants to see more and get more out of things and one wants to stay stuck in that position. Don't we see that all the time? We see it all the time. People don't, and these times, oh my God, people don't want to admit that they came from a bad family or bad parents or bad parenting. They don't want to admit that. They want to feel like, yo, I'm the best parent in the world making the same mistakes their parents made. Looking stupid. Are you crazy? In these times, there's a reason why you could put hands on your kid in those times and the difference in these times. In these times, man, it's so much technology. That's just the same as committing a crime, man. The guy running out the bank and the cameras following him all the way home type of situation. You know what I mean? There's cameras everywhere. You have to find different. You can't be stuck in the same ways of discipline or disciplining your kids than the past. You have to find new ways of doing it. Whether it's taking away their social media or their technology or whatever they got going to let them see that what's the real value of whether it's doing that. But you know the reason why you can't do that? Because you can't even spend time with them because you're too busy out there trying to find your love, your new love. That you probably won't find because your real love was right there, the kid that needed you. Now that kid that's lost is going to be doing the same thing that you're doing, and you think they're going to find it? But all that's going on in this world, you think they're going to find it? The lost kids come from lost parents. You can keep feeding your kid money like a cash register. But at the end of the day, when they go out there, the way they look, the way they approach people, the way their intake from other people, the way they socialize, it all is going to fall back on you. If you go out, send them out there with nothing in their brain, well, they're gonna come back with a whole bunch of realities that you might not possibly like. Because the world gonna be feeding them and pitching them stuff that you were scared to even break down with them. So don't act like it's just them. No, it's you too. When you see the kids in there, think about their parents. You see the kids going to prison or shooting the child, think about their parents. The kid got a chopper about this big, and you mean to tell me he brought that in and out the house without the parents seeing it? But they thought that was a kite? We gotta wake up, man. We gotta wake up, knowing that you can't enjoy yourself in a place where this type of destruction is going on. I don't care how much money your neighbor has. He can have $1 million. He can have $20 million. He can have the most fastest, expensive cars. If he drives out in the street and that stray bullet goes through his window, he gets the same results as the person out there that's standing on the corner. Wake up. All these people feel like they're pulling something close. This is mine, mine, mine. No, they're going to take that from you. You see what I told you about out here in Queens, they just hit up the gambling spot. Yeah, niggas rushed in, kicked the door, and went however it went. I don't know how it went, but on the news, it's looking like 2 people got injured. And all for what? Because you're gambling. There's so many places you can gamble in places and have a better outcome than that. But you hear on social media, oh, gambling, I'm gambling this, gambling that. So now you want to get caught up in the mix and you go in there and this is what happens. Sometimes you can't always be mad at the shooter, you know. Sometimes you walked into that target. You walked into the target. You put yourself, there's a million targets out there. And there's places that have less targets. But you happen to always find yourself where the targets are at the most. And you stand over there and you smile. And then you wear the shiniest stuff to make the target even brighter so you can be the biggest target. You come with the money so the target is going to be well worth it when it's hit. So when it's hit, they all in your pockets. They're taking the chains off you. They taking off your neck. They even grabbing the sneakers off your feet and getting out of there. While you on the floor bleeding, and you in your head, you thinking like, damn, how did this happen? What do you mean how it happened? Poverty didn't put you there. Stupidity put you there. Stupid people make the type of mistakes that hurt other people. A wise man make a mistake, people learn from it. Stupid people that make mistakes and hurt other people, and it goes a long list to keep going and going and going. You know, 100 of people that swear they're kings, but they're not kings at their craft. They're not kings at how they live. They're not kings with their friends. They're not kings at anything they do but running their mouth. Oh, king of money, king of money. King of what money? Every time you get the money, you go and give it back to the people that didn't even want you to have it in the first place. So what kind of king are you? You're an artificial king. You're a social media king. That's what you are. And you get up there smiling like it's all good, but really, we know what it is. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. It's not you. Everything that reflects off of you says you don't have it. So that's just how things are going. I've seen it. I'm like, just the other day I was trying to put a new playlist together, and I'm like, where are all these artists? Like, I'm going back to music. I'm like, oh, this person only lasted about a year. People are not realizing there's just so many rappers and music coming in and out, but you're not realizing it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. A year, a couple months, disappear. And this is because there's no actual real connection in this stuff anymore. The connection right now is just people just trying to get the most or get some money out of it. It's not really a real connection like how it used to be, you know. We used to love to see people dance, but now when you scroll down, all you see is behind's in your face. You gotta move it. You gotta kind of move the behind like to just see what other things. Like all you see is the ass and come on. Got guys out here acting like they never slept with a chick and every day they like running. It's like, damn, man. I could tell your childhood you wasn't really, you know, you should have got out of there more and socialized more. You wouldn't be like a kid in the candy store for every chick that walks by you, you know? I could just tell you're not used to that. You're not used to this. You're not used to it. It's like that guy with his lady. People trying to tell him one thing of how they see it. His lady, she's not appreciating where his point, and this leads to things in the future. And all he could think is with the thing down here. Well, hey, everybody got their lesson to be learned. But the smartest people always learn lessons from other people instead of making their own mistakes to learn it. Then you got all these other people out here. They're looking at it. This people just looking over to see how who's going to win this fight. The guy over here telling this righteous stuff, or the people over here that's getting locked up. You tell me. Last time I remember, from the day my live stream started. I told you what was going to go down. The lack of trust is going to make put everything in chaos. And all them people up there in the politics up there, you know what they're going to tell us? Go back to work. Watch and see. Don't tell them the only thing you can do. If that's the only thing you can do, don't tell nobody. Learn to be very protective of the things that you love and you value. Trust me on that. Never sell yourself short to people that can't look you in the eye. They're talking about J-Kwon, the Tipsy song. They removed it from the Grammys. Yeah, sample. People are not being original anymore. I remember I left a comment on Roberto Blake. He's like a YouTuber. Helps people out with content and stuff. And what he didn't realize why I said a comment is, and it was just like, you got to be very careful of what you put out there. If it's things that you value, a lot of people on YouTube do bare minimum because of the fact of compensation. And who am I putting this information out to? That's another thing you have to ask yourself. Are the people understanding that information that you're putting out? Or are they just taking it and just running with it? Like, you got to be very careful of what you put out. I feel that is just the theme of this Friday for me. You got stuff valuable to you, write it down. Do not type it. People are in your information. America, they got our information. So you got to be very careful on the next things you put out there to the people. Don't just sell yourself short. Somebody you win $100 on email, and then you open the email. You know how many times that trick worked for so many people? It's crazy. Don't do none of that. Be a cold day in hell, man. I'm telling you, before I open the email, I don't even want to open your email, to be honest with you. Like, so it's kind of like, how? I don't even pick up spam calls, y'all. So if I don't pick up a number and it could have been somebody's number and there's no name on, I don't pick it up. People know me for that. I do not pick up no emails. I don't want to read your email. I don't want to read your email. So why would I tell you, so if it is something that I've never ever opened up an email and it's been something that's life-changing, so why am I going to go into an email, win this, win? I don't want to win this, win that. Did I sign up to win that? So why are you telling me I won something? Do I look like a fool to you? Win what? If you was here giving, you'll win a black eye. Win this, win that. And people fall short for this nonsense. Like fake lottery thinking and all that. Listen, y'all. You got to wake up or you're going to get tricked and fall and you're going to lose all your money and you ain't going to know where it went. It's crazy. The car, even, like I'll get into that some other time, but this Friday up until next week to the next Friday, you have to pace out yourself. Make every day like just like how people have emojis, try to make every day like, okay, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, I'm going to be this, and try to find yourself in the days to come. That's how I do it. Little by little. I'm no big smart guy, nothing. I'm trying to figure my life out. I'm trying to figure out the reasons why I think this way, the reasons why I don't like the things that I used to like anymore because I've seen something else in them. So once I start doing that, then trust me, you'll live a longer life questioning things than thinking you have the answer for everything. The people that think they have the answer for everything, they short life, man. They don't have no answers. People, crazy people, man. They think they know everything. Them people, nah, man, that ain't like us. Not at all, man. And always remember what I told you, having ownership in a whole bunch of things could make you lose whatever you got. Be careful of the people and the time you spend with people. Not everybody's out there for your best interest, man. I'm feeling good this Friday. I got a little lemonade. I want to watch some movies today. I'm really going to relax myself this Friday. I'm not even joking with you. I'm really relaxing today. I'm getting some good food. Maybe some, I'm not getting jerk chicken today, but I might get some stew chicken. Get me a nice little drink. I like the little milkshakes from, should I put that? Baskin Robbins. I'm not gonna, I don't promote unless, I know it, but it's a good company. Baskin Robbins, I've been eating their ice cream since a little kid with my pops. His favorite flavor is Cherry Jubilee. Shouts out to my pops. Shouts out to Brooklyn. Shouts out to all my queens. Queens get the money. All my peoples for real. My nigga, ooh, I was about to say the wrong thing. See, you gotta switch. All my peoples, I'll say behind the walls. C Boogie, J-Kwon, all my peoples, man. And for my peoples that's outside right now, just living their life, man. Some of my peoples lost some of their folks and stuff. Healing energy to all them people out there. It's a lot happening, man. I'm in a place where I'm trying to find the best out of situations, but at the same time, when I figure something out, I'll be so ready to be like, y'all don't see that, but no, probably not everybody's gonna see it. Not everybody sees it. Sometimes I gotta talk to myself like, Mickey, no, they don't see it. They can't see it because of that. But I'm chilling, man. I feel good, relaxed. I hope you guys are feeling good, and having something to do on the weekend is always a good thing. I think I want to get into some movies though, for real. I want to get into some movies. Maybe some documentaries would be good. I like watching docs. Yeah, man. Let me see if there's anything else I want. I don't want to miss out on anything because y'all know I'll jump back on. Let me see. Hold on. Uh-oh. I don't even think I'm gonna go to that. What's the definition of a friend? The Breakfast Club video. I mean, if you're asking what's the definition of a friend, I mean, you should already know you're too old for this. Like, come on, you're too old to be asking. We're adults here. What do you mean, what's the definition of a friend? That's what I'm telling you. A lot of people come up in certain situations and in certain environments where the people around them, they can't even consider anybody being friends until they find themselves. I tell you, for one, friends are not people who want to see the worst in you. Friends are not people who will backstab you. Friends are not people who would try to block you or try to sleep with your partner or talk down on you. Friends are not those type of people. Friends are people that really care about you and who you are, and they value the things that you value, and they give even if they don't agree with you, they give a innocent ear to what you're saying, and you guys share things in common. You guys would do things for each other that most likely other people won't do because of your bond. Friends are those type of people. Now, associates could be anybody. Associates in these times know people longer than friends, because associates, they're around, it's just like a casual conversation. Everybody's fake smiling. Hip hop did a lot of that in the industry. All you gotta do is turn on your TV. You'll see a lot of those people that wasn't friends. It's common sense to tell you that. You look at them, how could they be friends? They over there competing, and he's smiling in his face. His grin is up here with it, and the fake teeth is all in everybody's face. And you know them two people ain't friends. You know what a friend is. Your best friend. Or that person that you really love that passed, and you could never find that in somebody else again. That's what a friend is. I don't know, we too grown for that. I think instead of going way so far back on what a friend is, that's cool. If you don't know what a friend is, you'll eventually learn. You're an adult. Try to find out what love is. Try to find out what love is, and you'll realize love is not something that's going to be spread out so thin to all these people and sharing this person and sleeping with that person's partner and doing this to that person just for sex. Know what love is, so that when you do try to put some type of family together, it won't look so crazy. Know what love is. Know what love is, because people out here changing up their face and restructuring and surgery, this and that. The kids coming out not even looking like them. Know what love is. Love yourself. Once you love yourself, you'll know that love you have for yourself. Once you find that in somebody else, you'll feel the same. But talking about with friends, let me be honest with you. Sometimes friends could be overrated, y'all. It's overrated. Somebody like to say, I got 1,000,000 friends. So what? Half of them people don't care about you. I know people with the best of friends, and it's one person. So all these people, they friend up everybody. They ain't got no sense of where their life is at. Know what's the difference with a friend. Know somebody that's going to be in your corner and not just be in your corner for a benefit. Your friend's supposed to feel that, especially when you're talking about best friends and things like that, it's supposed to feel like family, but it just ain't from the same blood. That's what a friend is. Forget about worrying about what a friend is. We got to worry about what love is and what trust is. Break those things down so we can have a better society. Because these are situations that if you don't break out of this stuff, all the mental health stuff that people been swearing that they're trying to help for, none of it's going to work. Because the same thing that'll make you laugh, make you cry. Somebody could walk up to you but they mental health while you just found out what a friendship is and knock both of you and your friend head through the window. So there's a difference between knowing your surroundings. The less people you have around you, if you can't define what a friend is, the better it's going to be for your life. The better you are. You want to know what a friend is? Be a good friend. I don't know. It comes with socializing, it comes with time, it comes with people, the people you encounter, your daily moves, the people that you bounce ideas off of. All of this stuff defines what you feel like as a friend. Some of these people, what they call friends, are the same people that stabbed them behind their back or got their baby mother pregnant. So when I look at hip hop and people, I see people, I never look at it like, oh, they're friends. Or I never look like, oh, if this one have a problem, this guy's gonna have a problem with this guy too. Man, both of them get knocked their heads off. The thing is, both of these guys, they don't even friends with each other, so they can't even trust each other. They don't know where it's coming from. When you can't trust somebody, you don't know where the drama's coming from. That's why a lot of these people be lost. A friend. That friendship stuff don't exist in hip hop like that. Now you have people you come in contact with, that you have same similarities, but a friend. Nah, man. How could they be friends and they on social media laughing at the next person and they man in prison and they not even, come on. We too old for that nonsense. You ain't fooling nobody. Jay-Z and Diddy was never friends. Come on. What's people don't even know it's a friend. A friend. Nah, it ain't, I don't, well, at least my what I consider friendship is not that. It's a little harder for me to just tag you as just a friend like that. A friend of who? I can't just say, oh, I have a whole bunch of, it sounds good, but it's certain people that I consider that's really, really, really friends. And that's the big difference. I don't just go around just because I know you or this and that, you're just automatically a friend. No, there's nothing wrong with being an associate too. You come across my daily way. It doesn't mean that we, no. So when you see social media question things like that, it just goes to show you don't really know what a friend is, and you might not really have those people in your corner to understand that. That's why a lot of people nowadays, you hear people shooting their own people. Yeah, they could be their own people, but at the end of the day, that gang had a whole bunch of guys in it that they weren't really even friends to each other. One guy didn't like that other guy. He didn't like what he did. That was detrimental to what he did, and this guy think he's more gangster than this guy, and now they got all that go on. And at the end of the day, you look back at all of them, whether you got to be looking from your high rise or you looking from a prison cell, and you just thinking like, damn, the Rico got all of us, and none of these are my friends. Your friend is going to tell you, yo, don't do that, man. I don't think you should do that. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Look, you better off at doing this. You're going to highlight the things that they see better in you. A person that's just going to put you on a mission and put you on this dummy mission and go out there and ruin your life, I don't know about friends. A person that's going to look over and try to get the most out of you or just try to take something from you without giving it back, I don't know if that's friends. Just because you're giving somebody something to put up this fake image about yourself, don't make that makes you a good person. It got to come from here. And coming from here, sometimes people don't understand that it's not easy to just see like that. It comes in pattern and how people talk about you, how you treat people. You know, some people, they get mad, oh, all these people, they trolling this and that. But why you think they trolling? They trolling me, they trolling me. No, it's you, dummy. Dumbo, wake up. You was saying nonsense all through the week, and now when it comes down, they're ready to get at you. It's just like you, the funny guy in the back of the class that never got an A in his whole life. Of course you're going to wild out when somebody talk about how you look or something, because that's all you got. A bunch of jokes and two of these. That's all you got. So we ain't here to talk about friends. If you don't know what that is, there's a lot of ways you can understand that. Just try to know what family is first before you even get to the friends part, you know? Realizing what circumstances that you coming out of. When you start looking back at your life, like let me start analyzing my family and how I came up and then up to this point and what led me here. Then you start realizing, oh, okay, nah, she talk a little too much. She spread my business out. This guy, you know, you almost got me killed. This guy, he always makes the wrong decisions. But this guy, he always on the up and up telling me, you know, highlighting the things that he sees in me, my value. Let me go check him out. That could be my friend. You could analyze it now. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal. Your life is worth more than just leaving it in the hands of somebody else. I refuse. I refuse. I appreciate you guys. It's Friday. I might drop a little early video on maybe Saturday. If not Saturday, you know I'll be back Monday. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys could take something from this, but this is just the energy I'm feeling today because people have this deceiving type of mask on, and I want to pull that mask right off so you can see their face, man. It ain't good what's under the mask. It's nasty out there. You guys, I love you guys, and yeah, man, share this live. And tell a friend, tell a friend. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Queens get the money. You dig?